Well, hello. If you're seeing this, that means it's Tarot Tuesday. Whether or not it's actually Tuesday when you are seeing this video, doesn't matter. It is Tarot Tuesday somewhere, and the universe has some things to say. So we are going to get into it. Is my incense lit? Let me try this. Hang on, let me just make sure. I feel like that's something to pay attention to. Okay, great. Now we're cooking with gas. Yes. All right. Tarot Tuesday. Welcome back to another edition. Today we are exploring the energy of May 14th through May 20th, 2024. If it is not that time when you are seeing this message, doesn't matter. These are timeless messages, so you can trust that if you're resonating with anything from this reading, that it is meant to find you when you find it. This is a general reading that we're doing today. The general readings, they're a little less specific. What we're looking at is the overall energy for anyone who's coming across this video, the collective of people who find this. This is a general energy, so the energy itself can manifest in a myriad of ways, depending on your life and your circumstances and a plethora of things, truly. But the energy itself, overall, is the same. So, like, same patterns, behaviors, themes, things like that. So we're gonna take a look today. As always, I like to encourage everyone to lean into their own intuition. You know what messages are meant for you, and you know what doesn't feel like it's resonating. So, you know, you don't have to take that with you. How about that? Don't bog yourself down. My name is Lara, by the way, if you know me, or if this is your first time seeing my face, welcome so much. I'm so happy to have you here. Okay, that's the intro spiel. Check that off the list. Let's talk a little bit about what we have happening. Oh my God. What do we have happening? So, I mean, there's things happening, moving. Mercury's moving places, and Jupiter is in Taurus, and we just had, last week we had our we had our new moon. This weekend in the United States, we celebrated Mother's Day, so that may or may not be a thing for you. Happy Mother's Day to anyone who is a mother, and you know, to anyone who has any complicated feelings about that, I'm sending you my love. And yes, today, not yesterday, that was 2 days ago. Oh my God, today's Tuesday. Hello, what did I just say? Like I said, I mean, time. It's not linear. Who cares? Okay, but that's what we're coming off of. What we've had happening, though, actually is we've been having a lot of stuff happen. The Aurora Borealis, like, showing up. Definitely, like, across the United States, people seeing it, I think, like, in Ireland and places that you're not normally seeing it. From what I understand, the things that I have read, the news I've picked up, is that has been caused by an excessive amount of solar flares. And while the sun doth flare, it usually doesn't flare in the ways that it's been flaring. I mean, I'm not like someone who knows all the fancy words about this, so 444 on the timer. But the kind of solar flares, from what I understand, the kind of solar flares that we've been having send out a certain kind of energy, radiation, Don't quote me on that. But these solar flares, like Earth doesn't always get the solar flares. So why does it matter? Well, in general, if we're getting a solar flare, it's bound to affect your energy, just like within your body physiologically. But the reason why this is like, why is this such a big deal? Well, the reason why that is that a lot of these solar flares that are going off are being directed straight to Earth. We don't normally get this much. You know, I mean, on a spiritual like level, what that means is like sun codes and ascension codes coming through and hitting us. So, you know, if that's a rabbit hole you want to go down, but yeah, I mean, this is like, it's a little unprecedented, and it's unusual. And so if your energy has been feeling off, if you have been exhausted, maybe you're taking a look at the things that you've been going through from last week. If you are remembering last week's reading and into this week, you know, I mean, I'm not sure it's a coincidence, but that's just me. That's personal opinion. Either way, it's bound to affect you just because of the energy that is coming at us. It's a lot. It's not what we usually have. And yeah, that's intensifying things everywhere. So awesome. How are you feeling through this? Oh, yes. Okay. So, and that's like kind of like the, you know, one of the major events right now. So I'm curious, like, what all of that happening is going to like bring us to. Where is this taking us? What messages do we need for this week? So I was just shuffling our oracle deck. As per usual, we're gonna take a look at the oracle. We're gonna take a look at the oracle deck, catch a vibe, and then we're gonna dive in with some tarot cards and see what the tea is. So I already had a oracle card fall out. It's literally on the floor at my feet. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna pick it up. Okay, so our oracle card is Treasured Memories. That's so nice. The memories worth treasuring. We have this figure here. I love the flowers in the hair. I just saw 808. How weird. 444 0808. Yes, treasured memories. This figure is sitting here. She's sort of looking off into the distance, but she's holding on to this sort of like see-through balloon that has a cloud in it. Looking really closely at the card, it almost doesn't look like a balloon. It looks like a very fine net that's sort of holding this cloud. And I really feel like this card is speaking to those memories that we take with us, the treasured memories. Like the past does not define us, okay? But we can take those memories we treasure with us into our future if we'd like. I think what I really love about this is that, like, while you look at her hands and she has the string she's sort of holding, and it is attached, there is a sense of like, I don't even know how I want to say it, because not attached, but like it's like it's a separate thing, but it really looks like it's like a part of her, you know, sort of wrapping around her hand. But like her hand itself is actually really open, and she's holding it between her open fingers. So what I'm picking up on with that is really like, if you've never heard this term before, is like loving with an open hand. What this means is that, you know, the idea, if you use the metaphor of like love as a butterfly, this metaphor changed my life. Okay. If you think of love as a butterfly, right, that comes to rest on an open hand. Okay. So your open hand, the butterfly of love, comes to land, and our tendency is to like grab it and hold on to it, right? But what does that do to the butterfly? It crushes it. It kills it, right? Butterfly unalive. And the idea of loving with an open hand is that love, that butterfly comes, and it is, you know, when you let the butterfly rest in the palm of your hand, it doesn't always just fly away. And it speaks a lot to like an ability to love even if and when you have to let go. And I'm really picking up a strong sense of that in this card because of how she's holding this. And I'm thinking like, okay, like let's apply this metaphor to how we're remembering these treasured moments. We could even 1212. We could even go a step further. I'm seeing a lot of numbers today. Not super unusual, but a little unusual for readings. I'll take it. Right. So I think this speaks to something about clinging to our memories. And I'm hearing a challenge in like a challenge, not an aggressive challenge, but like challenging ourselves to remember things with an open hand, because, you know, memories also, like, it's your perspective that filters the memory. You can have an experience with someone, you can share an experience with someone, but they're not going to have the same exact kind of memories that you have. And once that moment is over, like, you can never really, like, know the truth, sort of, so to speak, I guess. Anyway, I don't know if this is making sense, but I'm feeling of like, you know, using the past to inform us, using those treasured memories to invite us in where we're moving forward, where we're like leaning into our joy, our happiness. There's serenity here in this card as well, I'm feeling. So this is really interesting. At the bottom of the deck too, we have this card Abracadabra, which I love. Look at that. And God, this is like, for me, this is like equates to the Magician card in a traditional tarot deck. So I'm really like feeling that. Yeah, and then right underneath we have Queen Bee. Woohoo! Okay. So interesting. Oh my God. Okay. Let me not get lost in my own reading here. All right. Okay, so that's the vibe of this reading. So we're gonna talk about maybe the ways in which we attach to our past, to our memories. I don't know. What's we got? Let's dive into it. Okay, Spirit, Angel of the Tarot. What messages do you have for the collective coming in to see this video? There's one. over the next 7 days, we would like, if you wouldn't mind, maybe one more card. Looking ahead at the next 7 days, please, and thank you. Okay. All right. There's 2. Okay, cool. Let's start where we always start. We're going to start with our shadow card. The shadow card we have today is the Page of Wands. So pages typically represent a more youthful energy. You can see in this card in particular, there's a lot of yellow. Wands are fire signs. So, you know, in the upright position, the Page of Wands would signify like the beginning of a new chapter where there's like a lot of inspiration. We're talking about creativity. You know, that it's that that beginning spark, right? Like the first time you get lit up about something. But we have the Page of Wands in reverse here. So what that indicates to me is there's coming from our shadow, from our subconscious mind, there's a lot of feelings of stuckness. Some new beginning that has been trying to get off the ground that feels like it's just not getting off the ground. It's uninspired. Maybe energy feels low. You're not feeling like jazzed, like you want to be, like you feel you should be. You'll know that more than me. And underneath, it's the Six of Wands, which is really about stepping into your limelight. And the Six of Wands, again, this is in the reverse position. So I want to say, oh, yeah. Because we have the King of Wands behind that in the upright position. I feel like there is some ego getting in the way of really fully embodying and taking action in this situation or in your life, because there's some skewed idea of like what your limelight or what your success is supposed to look like. So no wonder we're not feeling like connected to it. Let's keep going. Let's take a look at what is that? Oh, fuck. What does that mean for our world in the week ahead, the next 7 days? Yeah. All right. So we did have 4 cards. I'm saving one to clarify. I think this is our clarifier, but we're going to start with our first 3. So right out of the gate, we have the High Priestess in reverse. There's like blocked from intuition, blocked from crown chakra, blocked. Because you can see in the upright position, right? There's a lot of energy coming down, you know. The High Priestess really speaks more to like inner wisdom versus things that you have learned. Knowledge, right? Knowledge is different than wisdom. But we're not connected to that intuitive space. And And with the Two of Swords, there's a choice that needs to be made. A choice that needs to be made, but you're refusing to look at it, refusing to deal with it. Maybe because you feel like you're not connected. And that's why you don't want to make this decision. Or maybe, maybe these feelings of disconnection are making it difficult to actually choose one way or the other, right? There could potentially be a lot of chatter around. You haven't been able to connect with that sense of intuition, that inner knowing that would tell you which way to go. And it's certainly like with the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. I think of what you're afraid of seeing is the truth, that if you really make the decision, if you really look at it, you will see something that you have been trying to build towards that is not sustainable. And that is super reflected in this sense of like stuckness, feeling uninspired, right? Because this way in which you're showing up to take leadership is not in alignment with what you're meant to embody. Is this making sense? This is a lot. Woo. Okay, so the deck actually just split to the 8 of Pentacles. So this definitely has something to do with like, if it's not actually work, something you're working on, there's like the 8 of Pentacles is like your process of self-mastery, right? Practice makes perfect. And that's what the 8 of Pentacles is. You got to try things. You got to experiment. Like you can read all the books all day long, but if you're not tapping into this inner sense, if you're not like putting it in practice, then you can't really like fully integrate the wisdom. You need to, like, this is something to do with like getting something into your body. Whatever it is you're working on. And when I say what you're working on, I'm talking about like what you're working on within yourself. What I'm picking up on is there is like integrating the lessons that you've learned from your past. Hello. Oh my God. And you have a choice. My goodness gracious. Let's see what this last card is. I can't even. Knight of Wands in reverse. Knights generally are moving very quickly. They're action-oriented. This particular knight, for me, I mean, it's fire energy, so it is also representative of the things that light us up. God, there's a lot of fire energy. But this one in particular, I always see this person, especially like with the horse, like representing freedom and like wild, free spirit, sort of just like unshackled, unbound by the restriction that normally we live in that is demanding we be a certain way. And this is really like with this figure here, like for me, this is like dancing to the beat of your own drum. So when we find it in the reverse position, Where are you still living for other people? Because what you're building towards doing that is not sustainable. And you're gonna be asked to make a choice about it. But I'm getting this sense of like fear. Like there's fear because you feel like you're disconnected. But what's coming through is let the past help to inform you. Can you remember what it feels like to be excited about something? Can you remember what it is, the lessons that you are integrating? Because you are here, you're learning lessons over and over and over again, and they're showing up in this area, in that area, in that area, and the ways that they show up, just like with a general reading, the way it shows up is going to be different, but the pattern is the same. And you have a choice. But you feel really tangled up by a lot of like what's squawking in your ear here. Yeah, and I feel like the reason for the disconnection, the reason for the lack of spark is because there's still ways in which you're living for other people. And that's not going to build you a solid foundation, let alone take you further. It's not sustainable. Wow. Damn. That feels very direct. That feels really heavy. For some reason. Maybe it will feel heavy as we move through this energy. I'm going to pull one more oracle card. I don't know why, but I'm going to do it just to clarify what's here, because this energy feels heavy. Is there anything like you'd like to encourage us with? Like we've got pretty clear guidance, but is there we go. Here we go. 1 second. The gardener. Tend to your business. It is a part of you as much as you are a part of it. However that resonates. I'm picking up more self-care at this time. And grounding. Okay. So more of the same. Self-care and grounding. Hooray! Yeah, and we're really going to be shown the ways in which we feel disconnected. And yeah, I think we're just, it's your decision whether or not you're letting yourself be influenced. Especially if you are in a situation where you have been doing a lot of work and you maybe have been leaving situations that are not working for you. And someone once told me this, because I did a lot of work to leave a lot of people, particularly after my father passed away 3 years ago. And there was an interesting moment when I sat with a friend of mine and we were just sort of discussing what I was going through. And what I was going through is, I mean, it's not irrelevant, but but what they said based on what I had been expressing about how I felt was, you're still living for these people who, yes, they conditioned the way that you think, but like now they're gone. So you don't have to keep behaving, acting, living, right? For these people, you got them out for a reason. But the doctorate, the indoctrination, I think that's the word I want to use, was still so strong that it was like, all I can hear are these voices. So then it was like, oh, if I'm hearing these voices, maybe I need to do the opposite. Right? Because that's what they would want me to do. But I don't live for them anymore. So I don't know if that resonates. That's a more personal story from my experience, like whatever, who cares? But if it helps you, I'm glad. If not, then yeah, I hope something else did resonate for you. So you'll have to let me know how it goes. This is what I'm seeing for the week. We still have this underneath the deck with us, which is so cool. So I think walking away from this is that, like, despite these feelings of like not feeling like yourself, of not feeling connected, of maybe like not living for yourself, living for other people, like, you are the magician, you are the magic, you are the abracadabra, connected between above and below. So that's pretty cool. That's a nice note to end this on. Whew, I was worried for a second. All right, this has already gone on too long, but so fun to dig in with you. And let me know how this resonates. Leave a comment, all of the things. And if you like my work, if you're interested in working with me, I do a bunch of other stuff. All of it's sort of described, listed below. You're always welcome to reach out to me. If you have any questions, I'm happy to have conversations. And yeah, I hope that you are just like ferociously taking care of yourself. I hope that you really are living with those hands open. All right, that's all I got. Okay. Love you. I'll see you on the other side.